Okay, so I believe next on our list will be to head over to, just double check here. It's what? Put on the fancy clothing, right? Go to Yennefer's room and put on your formal attire. Now, we did, of course, make a point of holding on to some fancy clothing for this very occasion, or something like this. Though I assume that we do actually need to go to Yennefer's room in order to pick this specific attire. Now, maybe we could try throwing on the stuff that we have in our inventory right now and see if that basically allows us to skip that part, but I don't know. Pretty sure this is all the fancy stuff here. Looking good, Geralt. Alright. Does still say that we're supposed to head on over. So, let's just take a quick peek at other buildings over here. Paint on the ground, okay. Broken rakes, sure. The ladder, it's, though we don't seem to be able to go up it. Strange. That's odd. Alright, do we want to explore every single building here right now? Or do we want to continue... hello, old woman. Or do we want to continue to do a little bit more on the main quest before we go into all-out exploration mode? Because I feel like that might actually be preferable. He says as he steals all this woman's possessions. Yeah, I think let's leave it at this for now. We'll head over. These the fighting dudes. We learned a bit about this before. I think we do have the quest for this already. That is, look at how heavily armored this guy is. Or is that a Celt? Huh. There are some people with names here, so maybe it's worth just taking a second to talk to some of them. I'm guessing that's going to be one of the people that we do a fist fight with. Like you? I don't know. Uh-oh what? Don't just throw out that uh-oh and don't substantiate that claim with anything else. They're making me feel like we did something silly. Is this against Skellige customs to just casually walk around as two people are in a fist fight with one another and chat it up with the locals? My apologies if that is the case. Let me just make sure that we've actually activated the, formal attire part, not the other part. Okay, it's locked, but we can
This
still
has
in.
gotta be Yen's room. She always did like space and luxury.
Okay, what? So there's a bunch of open space, so that means it has to be her? Okay, sure. We read about the Wild Hunt? I assume we have. From farmers and herdsmen, milkmaids to midwives, all the common folk of the continent whisper, sharing tales of a wraithy procession pounding across the sky. Wild Hunt, they call it. Winds and gales, storms and blizzards arise when it is sighted, and all grows cold, though the sun shone bright moments before. Some remember only the cold from the shock of the encounter, and claim the riders come always in winter. But nay, this is not so. The hunt brings its own ice. Death and war gallop in its wake, or so the superstition goes. Yet evil enough is the hunt itself. It takes folk captive, youths most often, in the prime of their wildling years, with 10 to 20 summers behind them. The hunt rushes in, and they disappear, only to return long years later with no memory of what passed in the time between. Of course, we did have several run-ins with the Wild Hunt, or many, back in Witcher 1, then a little bit early on in Witcher 3 here, but haven't had many since then. It's been quite a while. Okay, so here's our stash. Oh, we have more fancy clothing in here. We really needed to use this, but I'm assuming that there is a different place where we are technically supposed to get our fancy clothing. I think. Huh? What's this? Yennefer's journal. We are so in trouble. My thoughts turn with increasing frequency to the idea of capturing a djinn, I don't know much about Jinn, but I'm assuming that is probably no simple task. Yennefer, maybe think twice about this. If I could just harness its power, there's so much I would gain. Amos var Yipsis tome confirms what I have long suspected, that despite my failure to do so previously, taming a Jinn is, in fact, possible. According to var Yipsis, the difficulties involved in bending such a being to one's will can be overcome. He managed to do so, at least. Alas, this does not mean his methods will necessarily be useful to me. Each Jinn is different. Each case requires a singular approach. I've more experience unraveling such magic riddles than almost anyone else alive, and if Geralt, with his talent for wrestling unruly magic beings, breathed to help, we just might find a way to do it. The problem is, we must first find a Jinn, a daunting task unto itself. Oh, so you just want us to, be the backup in case the plan fails and you need someone to kill a Jinn for you. I see how it is. I see how it is, Yen. Can't fool me.
Glamour. Scent of lilac and gooseberries, even with the lid on. Taste hasn't changed.
Lilac and gooseberries. What was that? Possibly our first quest? First main story quest? Maybe outside the tutorial.
No idea how she managed to bring so much clothing. Must have hired out a galleon. As usual, black and white. The stuffed unicorn. She fixed it.
Fixed it? I don't know. Do we know it was broken? Doesn't seem like there's much else on this side. Just general belongings of Triss's. Oh, megascopes. Okay, that's definitely going to be something we want to check out. Let's just loot the non-quest related things first, I think. Stick with the simple stuff to begin with. Then, we'll take a close look at the big things. I think we have read the Slaughter of Sintra. So, of course, we did run into Philippa and hear that she had tried using a megascope, which makes me wonder. I think this is the first megascope that we've seen since then. Does that mean that Philippa might have teleported here? Wouldn't necessarily rule it out. My guess is that's where the clothes are. Mania. Sword. Last Wish. Do we know that one? Just want to double check that last one there. Once it pops up in the preview, or maybe it won't. Okay, never mind. Maybe we won't then. Okay, so what is the deal with these?
Her megascope? Guess she never goes anywhere without it. As Philippa Eilhart said, megascopes and toothbrushes. Deeply personal possessions.
I suppose so. Alright, so there is, it seems, one more room. Oh, and yeah, the quest marker is right on this chest here, so that's definitely the quest spot. Let's just check what is over here if we can't. What? It's, I suppose that Yen's room is attached to a tavern? Maybe should have assumed that, but it was a little bit strange. Just walking through that door there and not really knowing what to expect and see a room full of a bunch of people. All talking and singing songs and whatnot. Oh, wow, okay, lots of fancy stuff here. And it is specifically Skellige. Tunics and shirts and breeches. That makes sense, I suppose. Festive slippers. Put on the new clothes. Okay. We'll make it happen. With the shoes. And we got two kinds of trousers. We prefer these or these. These are puffier, so absolutely these. No question. Then, in terms of the chest plate slash tunic slash whatever you want to call it, this one or this one. Basically, bright blue or not bright blue. I feel like this one, the colors are a little bit better coordinated. But I think I prefer this, even if this one is maybe a little bit flashier. I think this just overall looks better. And our gloves don't really match very well. Those look better. Will I remember to switch to different gloves afterward? I mean, these two pairs of gloves were pretty similar, I think. So it wouldn't be the end of the world if we forgot, but look at that. We got the color scheme working out and everything. The socks leave a little bit to be desired. I'm not sure we can really change those, so I think this is going to be as good as it gets.
Just not something I'd ever wear. But what don't we do for our... Who exactly is she to me?
Ooh, Geralt. Identity crisis. I mean, well, let's be honest. Triss was, kind of blew us off. So, I don't think that's really an option anymore. So, that may answer our question. That may mean that, it's Yen or nothing at this point. Hey, Yen, love you and everything, but, you know, it may or may not be because all of our other alternatives are no longer available to us. I mean, what? No. Of course you were our first choice. What? Yeah, don't ever say that to someone. Our gloves are technically a little bit beat up, but I don't really expect for us to be getting into a fight anytime soon. If we do, then we could swap over to our other gear. And again, there are definitely more places for us to explore, like the tavern we were just in, ever so briefly, and these other buildings here. But I think let's go a little bit further with the main quest, and then once we've done that, I'm hoping that will open up a lot of doors for us, and then we'll be a lot more efficient once we do start doing the other things, because many more side quests will be available to us, because oftentimes we need to do the main quest first. I say that, but where do we actually need to go? Up here? Yeah, okay. So this works. It seemed like the little path, yeah, is leading us in this direction, even though it really looks like this would be the most efficient way to go. I don't know what the deal is with that. Deliberately not going to talk to many people yet. It's a bold strategy there, having your feet sinking in through that.
Friends we show heart. They say Lugos is fixing for a fight. Not with the black ones.
Can we make it all the way over there from here? Oh. Yeah, I think it's up there. Maybe that's why it was telling us to go in the other direction. I think so. Unless... Can we push the button? Hey guys, you mind if I just pull this lever over here? No, you don't? Okay, sure, thanks. What'd it do? What did we do? I have precisely zero idea. Alright, so maybe we head back in the other direction and go way higher up. Huh? Someone call our name? Maybe later. Yeah, so I'm curious to see how large these settlements on Skellige are in comparison to other places that we've been. Because, of course, Novigrad is supposed to be the largest city by far. And although this doesn't seem to be as densely packed as Novigrad was, it seems as though it's pretty large, just spread out. Especially if you consider that some of it is this elevation here, and then more of it is way higher up. So it's hard to get a great sense as to how big it is in total. What's that guy doing? Practicing his sword fighting with a little stick? I mean, I doubt we could do a fast travel here. Don't think so. Not even sure we'd want to. Let's just walk it out, see what we find.
Who's this?
Hello? We'll talk to you later. Saving that stuff for the future. There's a chance we were up here briefly before, though I don't think we went across this. The path might be a strong word to describe it. I don't think so. I am curious to see which types of herbs we tend to get here in Skellige. that does change it all, like Rangorin or whatever that one's called. We did see that it was one of the rarer ones where it's like glow ball was all over the place. Hey guys, so we know that there are many different clans. I've seen lots of these guys here who say on crepe guard and whatnot. You as well? I mean, your coloration's a little bit different. Your attire there? No, I suppose not. So I wonder if they're the big group in town. Anything else over here that we should take note of? Doesn't seem like it. Or at least not much. Pretty barren in this direction.
Friends we show heart, foes we show our axe. Remember that.
Okay. Hello to you too. This doesn't look ominous at all. Definitely not going to have someone chase us through here and or have this tunnel collapsing while we are in it. Definitely not. Definitely not. Also, definitely not going to have the camera autofocus at our feet. Was tempted to try to loot that stuff, but I'm assuming that guard will not be pleased if we try. Okay. So this is a fast travel location. We do now have it, so if we wanted to, we could beam ourselves back. Oh. Hold on. Could we have just taken this staircase here? Did we know about this before? Is this locked or something? I mean, still good to get to see how you get from one place to another without the fast travel stuff and without the most efficient means to move around. Is this stuff behind you? No, we can't move that. Okay. It's like this out here is still higher up than, significantly higher up than where we were before. It looks like we could go further down. Like, is that possible? It might be.
Did you hear the lift got stuck yesterday?
Drink last night too.
Child hung there half a day before they got him down.
Oh, well, there's another one of the levers. Was it an elevator-y thing? Hold on.
That's wise.
Does this bring it up here and then press it again and it'll bring you down? I feel like that is probably the case. Maybe. If this ever finishes doing whatever the heck it's doing. Should I be looking up or should I be looking down? Okay, don't really know what to make of that then. Looked like it was perhaps some kind of elevator, but I don't really know. Let's check what's down here. Right next to the hamster wheel. Oh, we can't jump inside? How else are we gonna power the entire city? Gotta find a drowner to do it for us? Alright. We'll get on it. Next drowner. We'll capture it. We know where it's going. So, oh! There it is. Man, that took an eternity. I feel like, even if it is supposed to be an elevator, it may not be faster than just walking ourselves. So this, careful. This may be a way down. Looks like it is. But, it doesn't finish where I would have expected it to, or reach ground level where I would have expected it to. So I think, that's making me very nervous. Geralt, do not sidestep that much. Yeah, so remember when I was talking about how the city is a lot more vertical than other ones? There's a lot more elevation changes. Yeah, that's definitely what I'm seeing here. Anything in here? Yes, there absolutely is. Okay, I think we're getting sidetracked though. We'll definitely want to check this place out on a future occasion, and I suspect that there will be times when we'll have quests and things of that sort, general exploration and looting, and we'll end up going through there on that occasion. But for now, I think it is best for us to stay focused on the task at hand, that being the main quest, and take it a little bit further, get a better sense as to what's going on in Skellige, because apparently the king is dead, and that seems pretty important. So we should probably figure out what the deal is. Understand that, and that'll help us get a general lay of the land, and then we will actually explore the land after that. I think that's the plan. Okay, so there were people before who were with their feet stuck in the ground. You two really look like you're floating in midair. And is one of these people again? Person on the left looks like it might be, yeah.
He needs a worthy successor.
You speak as though you have someone in mind.
Skellige's troubles very much derive from it not being a hereditary monarchy. Any upstart can be king and destroy his predecessor's legacy.
The King of the Isles is a more symbolic position.
That should change as well. A strong leader who wields true power. That is what the times require.
And hello, we're Geralt, but also really sounds like you have someone in mind. Yeah, like maybe you're about to launch some kind of political coup to make a point of getting your preferred person to be king and basically turn them into an autocrat, a dictator of sorts.
Introduce me?
This is my friend Geralt, and this is Berna, widow of the dear departed Bran.
Yeah, that's really weird
Mother.
for
It's a pleasure
the
to
person
meet you, Geralt.
whose husband just died
You
to say
must
that.
forgive me, but on a day like today, I'm afraid I cannot indulge in my penchant for long conversations.
I can see you chose your own outfit. You know, of course, that together we look about as good as lace frills on a battle axe.
Everyone's got their style.
I'll take that as a compliment. But yeah, really weird for the recent widow to be saying, yeah, you know, our old king and our old system of kings was really messed up. I think we need someone bigger and stronger to replace the person who just died. Oh yeah, also that was my husband.
Don't like funerals. Don't like feasts.
I know. You also dislike underdone meat and being teleported. But sometimes we must overcome our disgusts and prevail.
Okay, maybe she does know us pretty well after all. Okay, so it does seem as though we have a bit of a rapport with this person here. We saw him at the end of the previous component of the funeral, where they were doing the classic Viking ship with shooting a fire arrow at it type of thing.
We should mingle before they all get drunk. There'll be no talking to anyone then.
Oh,
Good thinking. I don't know what Krach wants, but when we meet with him, we should have clear minds.
I'm not
Okay.
gonna drink. Why dull my senses when I'm in such pleasant company?
Do you plan to compliment me all evening?
I plan to tell you what I think.
that guy in the background's like, okay, I heard nothing. Okay, the king is dead, long live the king. Yes. Go with Yennefer to the wake. We got a little bit more information about the person that we just met, yes, though I think we have a pretty good sense of what the deal is with her. Wondering if there are any other people that we should make a point of talking to over here first.
Our wagon's full of loot we ripped
Doesn't
from
seem
black
like it.
We've also wine from the
Yeah,
temples.
everyone is Clan Crate.
Wonder what'll please
Seems.
Geralt, there's something I've been meaning to ask you.
Wonder if he's strong.
Your
Okay.
beard. Why did you decide to grow it out?
Don't really know.
Must say it suits you.
Did we really not have it grown out in Witcher 1 or 2? Witcher 1, I guess we didn't. Witcher 2? Maybe not either? I honestly barely even noticed. Didn't give it much mind.
Lady Yennefer. Sir,
Greetings, Arnvald. My companion is Geralt of Rivia.
I am honored.
Nice to meet you. We are also looking for this dude, but maybe we try to play it cool for now. Just focus on being nice to people.
Nice to meet you too. Quite a few guests.
They come to bid their king farewell. They come to see the claimants to the crown.
We wanted to talk to Krach on Crate.
The Jarl will join us shortly. He's assigned you a place of honor at the table just beside his daughter Ceres. Follow me, please.
So he's the Jarl. Okay, so that explains a fair bit. It did seem like he is pretty important around
I
here.
asked them to. Wanted to meet the notorious Witcher Geralt.
Oh, why, hello there.
Don't remember?
That was ages ago. Yalmer and I were children when you last visited Orda. But you should meet your feast mates. Allow me the dubious honor. That's Halbjorn, son of Holger Blackhand. Blue Boy Lucas, Madman Lucas's firstborn, and choking down a stockfish over there is Otric on Hindar.
Hello. Was this our special table? Whole guest of honor thing, or is this a little side group that is pulling us aside because they are interested in shooting the breeze with Geralt? I may have missed that part. Let's see, so... what's her name? Sorry, I forgot. Maybe we don't lead with that one. Hoping we can kind of piece that together. But you're all the Jarl's
Seems they
sons.
set us with the sons of Jarls exclusively.
Sarison Crate is the daughter of a Jarl, Geralt. Jarl's daughters are in no way inferior to their sons.
Do you know every last one of them dreams of being Bran's successor? Look at him. Likely lot.
Ceres
Ooh.
is jealous, for the one among us who performs the greatest feat will be crowned king.
We all know the feats are a sideshow. Our fathers will choose who will wear the crown. What do you think they spoke to Crack about?
You talk like that because you're short of strength and skill. Remember when Hjalmar challenged us all to a race up the mount? You didn't stand with us then. As he buried his axe in that stump at the top to mark his victory, you were warming your chicken bones by the fire.
Something tells me that's not going to sit well.
For not participating, but I would have won then, as I'd win now.
Now that you mention him, just noticed Hjalmar's not here.
My brother walks his own paths. But about the race, why don't we repeat it? I'm willing to challenge any of you, Witcher included.
Oh,
I
okay.
beat him to the top. Venture to say that'd be a feat, eh? So you in?
If the Witcher's in.
Geralt?
Yen's in on it too. Do we have enough time to do it? I thought there was, you know, this whole thing with the wake. That seems kind of important, and us abandoning ship to, you know, have fun with a race seems like that's maybe not the most appropriate use of our time, but sure.
Gladly. What are the rules?
Whoever
Win.
pulls Hjalmar's axe from the stump at the top of the hill wins. Stray off the path and you lose.
We will almost certainly
Here
do
I
that.
was, ready to puke from all the boredom. Let's go.
What are the chances that we don't get completely lost and lose for that reason?
We're here. From this spot, you must reach the top of that mount. At the summit, you'll see the stump.
That is a
of
tall mountain.
Yalma's axe buried in it. Whoever pulls the axe from the stump first wins.
Do we
I'm
actually need to
ready.
get off our horse and do that, or do we just race to the finish
You'll
line like
start
usual?
when I sound the horn.
Oh, what? Is this not a horse race? This is like a running race? What?
Show me what you've got,
Huh?
monster slayer.
Did I miss that? Okay, it fortunately does not appear as though there's anyone else using a horse while we are running. That would probably not work so well. Oh, this does not appear to be the direction in which we were supposed to go. Hey, remember when I said what are the chances of us going in the correct direction? Probably little to none. Did we just cheat and take a humongous shortcut? Debatable. I think we were in first and we're still in first, but might have lost a bit of ground because of that. Not entirely sure. So we'll see how this one works out. Of course, we do have stamina, and so we can't just sprint non-stop. I was sprinting for most of that there. We theoretically should be making a point of using light armor, so I think we do have that at the moment, so that may not be much of an issue here. Come on, go Geralt! Come on! Get up quicker, dude! Yeah, our stamina is dropping very slowly, he says as his stamina is about to drop completely. Comes back very quickly as well. That's a good sign. Oh, here we go. Take it, Geralt, take it.
I won, but only by a hair.
I don't know. It
No
wasn't
such thing.
very close.
There's
But also, we
win
kind of
and there's
cheated,
losing,
sort of.
And I lost. We best go back to the week.
Yeah, we should probably do
Let's.
that. Was anyone else competing, or was it just the two of us?
See the wakes in full swing.
I feel like we're about to get in
Well,
trouble
so
for
do you.
stepping
Who
away from the
won?
wake.
I lost.
Lost to a Witcher, Sparrowhawk. That'd likely happen to any of us. Enough of the natter and let's drink.
Sorry, but we are under specific instruction not to do that, which is probably not going to go over terribly well, but I do think we have pretty important things to discuss with other people. And Yen is also, like,
Can't today, for
staring
good
into our
reason,
soul right
believe
now.
me.
But if not today, then when?
No one Yen
You've been
isn't
great company.
worried about us
Sadly, it's
drinking.
time we moved on.
Really?
Indeed. We must talk, but not here.
Yeah.
We shall learn all beyond that door.
Okay. Maybe the kind of thing you don't want to say in front of everyone else, but sure. Talk to Yennefer in private. That we can do, although I'm curious to at least take a peek at what else is going on here. Alright, let's head over. Which way did you go again? Like, can we... People gonna get mad at us if we do this? Hold on. Hold on just a second. Let's save. It's been a while since we've done that. People gonna get mad at us if we do this? Stealing from a wake. Oh dear, Geralt. It's not a good look. Very much not a good look. But it doesn't seem as though people are getting mad at us for doing it. Yennefer's chilling over there, okay. Is there anything else for us to take? I mean, no, not that we're taking stuff. Totally or not. I mean, we just took that from directly under that spot while that guy was hanging out there, so I think we should be good. Yennefer sprinting through here. She's like, Geralt, we need to go now. I did not mean that you were supposed to seal things. But I mean, you gotta check what's over here, right? You know? That little alleyway, it seemed.
On a cold, distant shore, you're not there. Trust the wide somber
Yes. Now I'm just not even checking to see if anyone's getting mad at us. Just assuming that we're in the clear. Yennefer's like, could you take any longer, Geralt?
Allow me to introduce Geralt of Rivia, a Witcher. Geralt, Jarl Donar and Hinder, and Jarl Madman Lugos.
Calling Lugos a madman's an insult to madmen. He's a common goat fucker.
Call me a goat fucker one more time, and I'll chop off your head, stick it on a pike, and piss down your neck hole.
Oh.
Enough! Time to settle this. Here and now.
Oh, ha ha ha! Giving me a true fright right now. Shat my best trousers. Put that away before you cut yourself, you cunt.
Let's calm this down, guys. This escalated rather quickly. Not necessarily sure you're gonna listen to this person who you met all of 30 seconds ago, but we can give it a shot.
Thought Skelliger's called a truce for feasts.
I know the hallowed customs. But Lugos ought to know that I'll not let him raid my Hinder's Fial bear.
You don't scare anyone, Donar. I'll be boy soon to plough your priestesses, drink from your tankard, and shit on your table. Be sure to leave a candle lit for me.
Emperor would be very pleased to hear you quarrel.
His Imperial Majesty is more than welcome to visit.
Let him sail over here. We ain't afraid of the Black Ones.
Raiding coastal villages is one thing. Total war with the Empire is another.
Awfully mouty, this one. Go stir your cauldron and pierce some boils, witch. Don't talk when you haven't got a fucking clue.
Careful. Let's see. We had the option to tell him to calm down earlier. Is that what we went for? That is what we went for, right? Because the alternative was to say, take it outside, and we definitely didn't say that. Obviously, telling him to calm down, I mean, it didn't really do much. But this seems like that's pretty upfront confrontational. At the same time, I feel like with Skelligers, you might need to be a little bit more blunt with them in this way. And, you know, they're like, hey, you want to get a point across? Let's fight about it. Whoever's the winner, they're the one who's right. So, I mean, let's try it one more time. And if this doesn't work, then we're going to go the more direct route.
Calm down, Lugos.
No wench will teach me how to fight.
That was not my intention. Come, Geralt. I believe this discussion's run its course.
Okay, but where are we going is the thing? Like, thought we were going in this direction? Okay. Just doing a little loop around everyone. Oh, I was gonna loop there first.
What now?
Now we pay a visit to Ermien's laboratory.
Huh?
Didn't know we'd been invited.
Something tells me we
Because
haven't.
we've not
Yo. How'd I know? What are you up to, Yen? So, do we know anything about this Ermien guy? I remember We were talking about one or two people who we didn't really know much about back when we were at the earlier part of the funeral ceremony. So, I mean, we probably shouldn't. Yes, we also don't really know what Yennefer is trying to do here. So it's mostly just a question of trust Yennefer and do something that is clearly not a good thing to do, like, I assume robbing this person of something, or being a goody two-shoes and not going along with what Yennefer's trying to do and maybe not get something that we could find useful in the process. Let's go for it.
Take it Ermion won't be there.
That's right.
And what's the purpose of this visit?
Yeah, that's
We're
kind of
looking
important.
for an object. The Mask of Urboros. We'll need it.
Okay.
Come, Geralt.
That's something.
Now you'll tell me why you need this mask.
Oh, I
Right.
shall. In due course.
Take it you'll decide when.
Correct.
It sounds like it. I mean, it is kind of important for trying to make these decisions, giving us crucial information, so it'd be helpful if you cooperated a little bit more with that stuff, yeah. But as for right now, we will start by taking all of his alcohol and water. Burn anything through here? Yes. Have we read this? Not sure we have. Came as a surprise to many when, a mere 3 years after the Second War against Nilfgaard, the war which, it was said, would end all wars, the Empire's forces once again invaded the north. The perceptive student of history, however, this development was not at all surprising. Nilfgaard's economy and political system have for decades relied on expansion and conquest for continued survival. Attentive analysis shows that Nilfgaard never abandoned its plan to subjugate the north. Contrary to popular belief, imperial diplomats, and not sorceresses, were behind the death of King Foltest. Of course, we have a lot of information, inside information, about that there. Is that... that's sort of true? They also brought about the crisis during the Summit of Mages and Monarchs at Loch Muin. So yeah, I mean, based on what we learned in The Witcher 2, basically, Nilfgaard... major Witcher 2 spoilers here, in case this wasn't clear. But, in Loch Muin in particular, we learned that Nilfgaard was basically trying to assassinate all of the major leaders of the northern territories, the northern realms, and succeeded in the case of taking out Foltest, of course, that happened before Loch Muin, but also basically tried to fry everyone with a dragon. So, although the people who were immediately there at that given point in time were sorceresses and one other Witcher, and I've apparently crashed the game, or tabbed out of it. There we go. Not sure what happened there. But, so, basically, yeah, although the people on hand were mostly sorceresses, a Witcher, and a dragon, technically speaking, it was Nilfgaardian diplomats behind the scenes that were the ones, or monarchs, behind the scenes that were, ones pulling all the strings. So I suppose that makes some sense. Before the wax had time to dry on the piece of Sintra, Emir Var Emrys had already begun to prepare for the next war, which ultimately broke out in the spring of 1270. The war's first stage went exactly as the Emperor had planned. In a matter of months, Lyria, Edirn, and Temeria found themselves in the shadow of the Black Banner. Let's see. We know about Temeria, of course. Edirn, we know that fell very quickly as well. Lyria, we haven't really heard much about, though I think from the bits and pieces that we've heard, I think we've heard that's pretty far south. And so that, just because Nilfgaard is to the south, was one of the first places to go as well, so I suppose that makes sense. So, if not for the early frosts of December 1270 and the daring of King Radovid, who, instead of concentrating his forces on the Ponsar, invaded Kedwin, thereby doubling his territory and strength, all the north would surely now be but another province in the vast empire of Nilfgaard. Really? You think infighting among the northern realms made it so that the northern realms were more likely to succeed? I would have assumed that had Redania and Kedwin teamed up in fending off Nilfgaard, that the Northern Realms would have served their best chance of survival in that case, because then they wouldn't have wasted Northern Realm soldiers' lives with infighting. Then again, the chances of Edwin and Redania collaborating, working as allies, probably next to none. Okay, so interesting. Okay, we've definitely read about Oxenford. Anything else here? Perhaps? Read that many times. I think that's it in this room. Meanwhile, Yenna's like, Geralt, what the heck are you doing? You keep on abandoning me. And you are not wrong. But there were pretty shiny things over here. And therefore, we had to check it out. Yes, I know time is of the essence because we're trying to rob this thing from this person who doesn't know we're here, and so we are too slow, then maybe they'd stop by and notice, but we'll be fine. Don't worry about it. A Witcher and Sorceress, I'm sure we can find a clever way to get ourselves out of just about any problem, right? Right. Exactly. Don't worry about it. Ballads and Hymns? You know that one? Yes, this one we've seen and read many times before. This is one that was seemingly a reference to Geralt and Yennefer, so fitting for us to find it here after we have finally reunited with Yennefer. And this is quite a long pathway leading to this person's, what was it, technically a laboratory? I mean, maybe if it's a laboratory that makes some sense, but still. Royal Lineages of the North, read that many times. That's the one about Ciri being heir to a bazillion thrones. Last Wish? Do we know this one? Human life requires 3 things for sustenance. Oh, is this? Yeah, food, drink, and gossip. Yes. How could I forget food, drink, and gossip? The 3 foundational pieces of human life and Witcher life. Man. For laboratory, certainly has a lot of alcohol in it. Imagine these guys be throwing a lot of parties around here. So that's our excuse. If we do get caught. Oh, we just heard the party was going down here. We saw all the alcohol. But yeah, Croc was asking us to just pick up more. Can loot this, right? Looks like we can. There we go. Alright. Alright.
Footsteps.
Oh, uh-oh.
Shh. Guards.
Let's get him drunk.
Tapestry.
Sparrow's
Which
chip.
tapestry?
While starlings, Charlotte.
What did jackdaws do?
Jackdaws caw. Goldfinches warble, and cranes whoop, whereas peacocks screech. Hawks scream, larks trill, and doves, they coo. That's all of them.
Right, that's every single bird in existence.
What about nightingales?
Ah, the nightingales.
All right, nightingales croon.
Alright, go. Like a pro.